That's not how we're starting it. That's not how we're starting it.
Ethan was
I
the
did not know
rowdy kid
this.
that talked a lot, and so
I was. Hello, welcome to that. Welcome to that episode of Portable Couch with me, David, and Andrew. Your favorite boys, the only one on the podcast.
it's been a while.
I mean, yeah, it has been a while for us, at least, since we recorded.
Yeah,
So,
I think we
kind of
a whole month we didn't record.
yeah.
Yeah,
We've been busy.
yeah.
Well, I've been busy with school. School has been taking up pretty much all my time. So I've been doing that. But, you know, it feels like our first podcast again. It's a little awkward, a little exciting.
yeah.
You only make it awkward if it needs to be awkward, all right? Speaking of schoolwork, yeah, this guy apparently takes all his time because before this episode, he literally did an hour and a half worth of homework. But you know,
Well,
we're so generous, as you know. Hey, you know,
Hey,
we're gracious enough to extend
I
grace.
forgot my sister's had a concert today. I needed to.
He
show
also
up
forgot
for
that too. Ilya and Evie, if you're watching, yeah.
I'm sure you guys sounded great. It was amazing.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, not bad. But yeah, it was pretty much my day. I got home, I slept for 3 hours. You know, typical stuff.
Wow. Yeah. I actually did take a nap today. I usually don't. Only on Sundays, like right after church, you get really like sleepy, so take a little afternoon nap. But I think I slept for almost an hour, which is a pretty big fat nap. So now I'm a little tired, but we're gonna push through it, get this recording done.
And
Y'all's
we
nap
have
times
gotten
are so different.
Yeah, we have different lengths of nap times. I'm just a bad sleeper in general. I need
Those aren't
help.
naps. Those are like half slumbers.
That's just
Yeah.
my like second sleep.
It's a
Four s-
full like cycle, right?
I
3
get
to
like
4
5
hours?
hours of sleep, 5 hours of sleep at night, and then I take my 3-hour nap, and that's like 8 hours. That's all I need.
Yes.
And it's not like anyone's doing anything. So I just sleep, and then if someone calls me, I ignore them.
No, he doesn't.
I mean,
Yeah, I get no calls.
who are we kidding? no one's calling us.
You just doubled down.
Oh, but yeah, we've been getting a lot of criticisms about the podcast, you know.
Feedback.
Feedback. Yeah.
So we want to cater to our audience in a certain way, but also,
Yeah.
you know, can't
By
lose who we are.
We know the audience. We see you sometimes. So we're gonna try to keep these episodes shorter, 1 hour 30, if we can.
Yeah,
If we can.
we'll try to trim it down a little bit. And for
You know what
those
they
who
say, like,
what?
Sorry,
go ahead. You go first.
Like, thanks, man. You know, like a small news, like, you know, it's like we got a limit to a certain amount of time, but you know, if the Holy Spirit allows, then we gotta keep going, right?
Yeah, we're just trying to train you guys so that, you know, when you go to a sermon and it's like an hour long, like you're already in the, you know, it's like, this is just like half a portable couch episode.
It's like 1/3 of a portable couch episode when Andrew preaches.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll try to cut it down. And for those who criticize us about the attractiveness of the hosts, we're working on that. We're gonna try to find some more attractive people, but for now, you're gonna have to live with it.
What do you mean? That's how I get people to join. You know, like for y'all that are watching, y'all probably heard me advertise it saying like, you know, there's this podcast, like 3 attractive guys, on a portable couch. Not really, but like, you know, it's a Christian it's a podcast that's Christian, and so it's like that gets them immediately like attractive guys. Oh, a podcast that's Christian. Oh, and then Ethan's just next to me. He's like, shh, and they automatically assume like, oh, it's you guys, huh? It's like, like, what do you mean? Like.
What? Yeah, so you baited them with it. So We know we'll find some more attractive people. But in the meantime, this is what you're getting.
Dude, we have all our teeth.
Maybe
That's
maybe we'll
enough.
have like that glow up, you know, like when the Disney actors they start off ugly looking, but then in the future, oh, they look a little better.
So what are you saying about us?
We're on the glow up. right now.
Andrew's cool. Andrew's cool.
All right. Okay.
Thank
All right.
you.
Okay,
that had
another
that had a lot of
announcement.
heart and passion
Hey,
in it.
hey, don't skip
Thank
this
you.
part. Don't skip this part. Important part here. We have a Spotify now. So if you're sick of going to the YouTube, if you're sick of seeing our faces, you'll see our faces on Spotify, but you don't have to pay to look at them, I guess.
Yeah,
don't
you
know.
don't have to watch the podcast. Yeah, you can just listen to it in your
Yep.
car.
But
at the
also,
gym.
if you check the Spotify, they also show the video itself too. If you want to see our beautiful faces because you are so attractive, right?
I
wait,
might get
does
rid of
really?
that. Might get
Oh.
rid of
Yeah, it shows it on there.
I didn't know
saw
it
on the
would.
website and the app, and so like you can see. I don't know about phone. I haven't tried my phone yet. But on the computer,
No,
it shows
yeah,
it.
it works on the phone. Yeah,
Well,
I
there
didn't
you
know
go.
that.
You can see.
I'm gonna get rid of the video. I just want it to be audio. But
No. If they're on the treadmill and they want to,
no. If you want a video, watch YouTube. You want a video, watch YouTube. If you want audio, Spotify.
why not the?
But Spotify is just
Yeah.
for audio.
Why not both?
Whatever. Yeah, why not both?
Mute the
You know,
video and watch this. Like play Spotify.
I want our cool logo to show up. All right, I want our cool logo to show up instead of our faces. Shout out
Yeah.
to Aaliyah.
She did a better job
All right.
than I guess our faces.
All right.
Beautifully, fearfully, wonderfully made, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes. So
In the
Eden
eyes
say,
of
that was
God.
Eden say. In the eyes of, yes, in the eyes of God.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay, you can skip now. You can go to other places. That's just the announcement I wanted to get out of the way.
All right, that's a good announcement. It's important, Duffy announcement. Yeah. So Ethan shared his day. How about your day, Andrew? Besides your nap.
Pretty normal. Back to work. After the holidays in the office. Got some more work coming my way, so that's always fun. But I think it's gonna be easily manageable. I have the presence of my savior with me at all times, so I can do it. You know, through Christ, I can do all things. So we'll be good. Other than that, I haven't been going to the gym because I like jammed my pinky, and so I've been trying to lay off of it. But I think I'm just gonna power through because it's time to start cutting. That's what they say, right?
I don't know. We wouldn't know.
You going crazy.
For us, it's like
We wouldn't
for us,
know.
for us is like dude, this is a running joke between Andrew and us. Is like Andrew and Ethan and I are what do you call it? Are ectomorphs or endomorphs? I forgot. But anyways, we have high metabolism, so we can't gain weight easily. So that's an issue for us. That's an issue for us. No. So Andrew
Yeah.
hates it when we talk about it.
We talked about this in the secret episode. The secret episode that y'all shall not see unless we
Underneath
get
the cushions, yeah.
we'll get like
Yeah.
we need like 10,000 subscribers and a Patreon, then we'll see.
Yeah. But there's a lot of
Yeah.
hot topics that we talk about that will potentially break up the group. So Ethan and David's metabolism is one of them. David's small calves
And
is
not
another
liking
one.
Panda Express.
Yeah. There's a few things here.
It's crazy. As the
Watch.
token white guy of the group, I really have to just like balance out this Asianness. Gotta get rid of some of this Asian. Too much Asian.
Mm,
Love Asian.
All right. Great.
Got it.
love
Yeah,
Asian.
a little
What?
disclaimer on the screen.
Oh.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Wow, y'all naps are long though. Or Ethan's naps are long. Andrew's nap is like my typical nap, but for him it's long. Like an hour nap is like average for me. If not
Yeah.
a little bit less, like 40 minutes an hour.
Oh man, I gotta do 15 to 30. Other than that, I like feel terrible.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that's my day.
Okay, David, I know you're begging someone to ask you, so let's move on.
So, what's the topic of the episode today?
I know what David's been doing for the past month. I know what he's been doing.
All right, what am I doing? Tell me.
No, I think you should share it.
Yeah. We want to give you a voice.
Just all right. I got this platform. I'm gonna use it. All right. Yeah. How my day was, if you were wondering. Yeah, I just worked. Yeah, that was it really. I had on rare occasions, like because I live in an area where like it's like there's a good Vietnamese population, and so we have Vietnamese patients come sometimes. I work at a clinic, a physical therapy clinic, and so today we had a Vietnamese patient come in. It's not her first time, so all that. But it was great talking to her. I like. I'm not really that great in Viet. I think I'm like I would say 40% fluent in Viet, if not a little bit less. I can't read it, I can't write it, but I can understand it and say it. And so I try to help hold a conversation, which is pretty good. Explaining exercises in Viet is kind of tough, but that was the only thing interesting today. Yeah, I don't know what else. Still recovering from being sick. I don't know why it's been like 3 weeks, but 2 weeks really. But yeah. So excuse me if I cough like every other episode, but
Yeah, we'll try to edit it out.
no, you can keep it there. Keep the authenticity, you know.
No, it would drive
If
me
it-
nuts.
Yo, who's coughing in the background?
Oh man. Anyways, so our agenda for today, it's been a while since we recorded an episode. Our last episode was around Halloween. No, we don't say Halloween. We say Reformation Day. All right. Reformation Day. That's what we look towards, all right? That's the checkpoint. So that's what we did. Our last episode rather. Played a horror game. Yeah, that one hasn't been doing too well, but for us it was pretty fun.
Oh yeah. If
No.
you're like, if you're not watching the video because you think we're playing a game, you should watch it and then just skip the part where we play a game. We talk at the beginning, at the end, so there's some stuff like regular podcast stuff in there.
Yeah.
Thought we'd do something different for that episode. Play a game. And it was alright. It was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Enjoyable. Me and David have
But
been playing.
like we said before, it's been a while since we last recorded our episode, or an episode rather, like a month, I think. And so we just want to catch up. And so the agenda for this episode, we usually try to nail a theme for each episode. And for this theme, I think we wanted to target recap, rewind, nostalgia, just going back into the past. Mention the good times as a child or our childhood, good times in high school, if there were any good times, any times in general, or even like how our Thanksgiving was, because that recently happened. And so let's start with Thanksgiving. I think we'll just go one by one, kind of dissect it. So how was your Thanksgiving?
Yo, this might be a hot take. I don't know. I think Thanksgiving is the best holiday.
No,
It's
agree.
better than
I
Christmas.
think it's agreeable. I'm there for the food.
All right, people are like, you guys need more spicy or different takes, and we just all
Okay,
agree.
fine.
Someone needs to
Fine.
disagree.
I think Easter is the greatest holiday. If it's a holiday.
Well, I mean, what do I even say to that?
All right.
No,
yeah, I can't say anything to that.
No, Jesus died. I'm sad. I don't know. I don't know. What do I even say to that? But
Exactly.
the reason why Thanksgiving is the best holiday is because Christmas, like the token best holiday, like everyone thinks, oh yeah, Christmas, best time of the year. Too much work, man. You have to do all this choir stuff. You got to do, I don't know, there's just a lot of events going on. Driving to Austin, that's just us, but maybe, I don't know. Family coming, which is good for me, but I don't know if other people like that. But I don't know, just like a bunch of traditions you have to do. Thanksgiving, you eat. So simple, so lovely. You just appreciate what you're given. You're like, oh, thank you, God, for this food, for these people around me. And it just, I don't know, it's just more relaxed. Christmas is a bit more stressful.
Yeah, I agree. Like once you get into that Thanksgiving and Christmas like holiday window, it gets really busy. But Thanksgiving is just like a chill, usually chill holiday where you just eat a lot of food and hang out with your family and stuff. And then there's always the added benefit of, hey, we're going to give thanks, for everything God's done. One of our friends from Austin, when we were there around right before Thanksgiving, kept saying, like, every time we like saw like Christmas decorations, we like always pointed out, it's like, it's not even Thanksgiving yet. They're trying to kill my Thanksgiving. And I'm like, what does that mean? It's like he loves Thanksgiving more than Christmas. And that's because, Thanksgiving has a central like message or theme, which is to give thanks. But like nowadays they're trying to like market it or commercialize it, so it's like Black Friday and stuff. Christmas
Yeah.
is all about like giving presents and stuff. So it's kind of like lost this meaning. But like Thanksgiving is just so core and central, like thanks, give thanks. So yeah, it's his favorite holiday. It's my favorite holiday because the food is absolutely banger.
Yes,
Love getting
bro.
together with people.
I feel bad
Yeah.
for David.
Yeah. Yeah, like your traditional Thanksgiving food. I eat hot pot because I'm Asian. Or
I
rather,
mean,
no one knows how to
wait,
cook it.
you're not like complaining. It's still good food for you, right?
I'm
I don't know.
complaining because
When I
I'd rather
think-
have better food, but it's not that it's not good food. Just I love Thanksgiving food so much, like creamy casseroles and stuffing and turkey and ham and gravy and mashed potatoes and corn, cranberry sauce, all that stuff. It's so good. But the church usually does a good job of it, honestly. So that's usually like a good, like I'm excited for, oh, it's Thanksgiving service. Oh, let's go. There's gonna be like, good food after. But yeah, I also agree. I think for me during Thanksgiving, not that it's my favorite holiday, but I mean, it can be. I don't really have a favorite holiday. It's a good holiday.
This
The food's
guy
great.
can't make decisions on anything. It's crazy.
I just
Yeah,
want to
take
swing the
no
other way.
stance.
I just want to swing
Take
the
no
other
stance.
way. All right.
Offended no one.
But I agree. Actually, one thing I realized was you know, with the consumerism and all that stuff, like pushing Black Friday and all that Cyber Monday, like we lost the meaning of Thanksgiving. Like Thanksgiving, like people say, is like the cure of discontentment, and yet we are so discontent based off what we want. And so, I find myself looking at Black Friday sales, like, oh, I want this, I want this, I want this. And then for me, the challenge this year was like to not get anything because I was like, I just had to be satisfied with what I have and be thankful, yet grateful. And so, but I think my Thanksgiving, again, I didn't have traditional Thanksgiving food, but one thing just to like recap and like be nostalgic about or whatever is that back then, I'd say before 2 years ago, my dad's side, they all live near or in the area, the Metroplex. And so we would get together, the dad's side, and spend the whole day together, lunch and dinner. And so it was really great, really chill. You could leave whenever you want, but most of the time, everyone stayed together. But it's not that case anymore. Just we drift apart. And so the past 2 years have been me by myself at home, either playing God of War or watching K-drama. Last year I played God of War the whole day. This year I watched K-drama the whole day. And so, I mean, it's different. But even then, I think it's always like a challenge that God gives for me. It's like, despite it all, rejoice in all circumstances, be thankful. So that's something. That's how my Thanksgiving went. And I mean, got to be content with it.
Yeah, he's begging you. If you live
Invite me to
around the
Thanksgiving, please. I
area,
want
yep,
turkey and ham and
he's
everything.
begging. He's begging, bruh. Man, if I knew, I would have invited you. You didn't tell anyone. That's a problem.
Yeah.
I didn't tell anyone because I want to be that person, like, oh, look at this poor beggar.
Now he's like, but now when he's on the podcast, he's telling everyone.
Yeah, I
Tell
have this platform
everyone.
to tell everyone now, but indirectly. So if anyone wants to invite me next time in the future, just let me know. Only you have turkey and ham. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. So
Okay.
you don't want a Vietnamese thing.
So yeah, I don't really want a Thanksgiving.
Mashed
I had that at
potatoes,
home.
corn.
Yes, all that goody. Oh, wow.
Man, yeah. Honestly, that's like the only time of year I eat all that stuff. But it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, our
How's your
Thanksgiving, it's pretty traditional actually for a Vietnamese family, I guess. I don't know. But we have the whole like classic Thanksgiving spread. Turkey, cranberry sauce, stuffing. We had mac and cheese, roasted potatoes, Brussels sprouts, green bean casserole, like cornbread. Well, not cornbread, like a corn casserole. It's like a bready kind of corn casserole. We had like some type of soup, more cheesy potatoes. We had steak, which is actually really nice. Um,
Oh.
yeah, so I made some chimichurri sauce to go along with that, and it was a good call. It was
Dang.
a really good
Nice.
spread.
Nice.
And we have like the pumpkin pie. I made carrot cake. We had salmon.
Wow.
Someone brought salmon, so we had like hors d'oeuvres. Yeah.
Hey, we don't promote that. Hey, yo,
yo,
get that out
place
of
that
here. Audio listeners, don't look at the video. Don't look at the video.
Yeah,
It just says
so
salmon.
salmon.
Solomon.
Salmon.
I don't mind it. I don't really care, but like I'm I'm trusting the other way. So
Yeah, so like I think I was talking to one of my cousins and we're like, yeah, this year was actually one of our best spreads. So the food was immaculate.
I think
My aunt made us like espressos, lattes, and stuff afterwards. So that was really cool. And yeah, so the whole family gets together. My mom's side, my dad's side's like in Vietnam, so we don't celebrate Thanksgiving with them. But my mom's side's pretty large since he's has a lot of siblings, and so yeah, it was a lot of fun. And then this year, what we tried to do was we sat all of our parents down with our grandpa, and we try to like ask some questions about like their experience in growing up in Vietnam and how they escaped, the Vietnam War, became refugees and stuff. Just because my grandpa is about to turn 90, and we're gonna lose some of the stories soon. They're growing older, they're gonna forget. So you just want to record that stuff because it's like very crucial to who we are as Vietnamese American, like first, second generation. Even though we don't think about it a lot, a lot of that has an impact. How our parents raised us and stuff. Like it's all impacted about those things that happen. So we want to record that, and we did a first pass at it. It was okay, but we're gonna try it again for Christmas, and maybe just every time we get together, record something. So this portable couch is expanding.
yeah, they totally knew about it. About our podcast and they wanted to expand on it.
Yeah.
That's great though. I think that's a great idea. Yeah. Especially with our grandparents getting older.
Yeah. So Ethan or David, you want good Thanksgiving spread? You can always, you can drive down.
Actually?
Yeah.
I don't know how your family feel about that, but yeah.
Yeah. No, you get asked a lot like, "Oh, are you like so and so's boyfriend or something?" And you're gonna have to endure that.
All right.
Because you're just gonna be the random guy. Someone's gonna ask you like, "Oh."
Usually it's not the boyfriend. It's usually like, well, actually, yes, it makes sense that if you're invited to someone's random family, it's just like, oh, what do you hear? Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think this
yeah.
oh shoot.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's a good point though. Like with our grandparents or like the elderly, like they have a lot of stories. I mean, what was that? In fact, that Vietnamese patient I had today, all we talked about was like how my parents and how she escaped Vietnam, or was it through sponsorship, was it through the boat and everything. So it was kind of cool. But yeah, I agree. That's cool though. Nice Thanksgiving. Yeah, I'll come over next year.
I honestly think this Thanksgiving was one of the best Thanksgivings I've ever experienced. We had turkey, brisket, mashed potatoes, corn. I
Sweet.
think it's even more standard than Andrew's.
Really?
Just some vegetables, pumpkin pie. Just really, really American, But yeah, we had a lot of family,
Work.
come over. We had a lot of good laughs. Oh man, it's like the moments I live for. It's just so peaceful. Like nothing can go wrong in that moment.
We're all a fan of
Wow.
Thanksgiving.
Thanks, guys.
But okay, so here's maybe it's not a hot take, but turkey. Turkey
Not gonna
sucks.
lie.
Well,
Depends on how it's cooked, but the turkey this year was pretty
how
good.
it's cooked.
Yeah,
The
our
food
turkey
this
was
year-
really good. I believe it was smoked. Maybe it was deep fried. I don't remember, but it was good. But like every other week of the year, turkey is an inferior meat.
Well, then why? I mean, like, who's eating turkey during Valentine's Day? No,
It's like
I
a
don't.
lean. Is it better, healthier than chicken? I don't know.
It is It's healthier than
Oh.
ham. I don't know. It's healthier than chicken, yeah, because it's
Yeah, some people eat turkey.
leaner.
Yeah,
I don't know if like anyone eats.
That's why it's so dry. It's basically like
Mm.
that's that issue. That's why people don't like it. But like it is healthier.
Honestly,
But not all turkey is dry. Like you have to cook it really well. But also like turkey has dark meat too. In the legs and the thighs. So you do have dark meat. Also, you have gravy too. Like it's a substitute early.
I don't like the dark meat. I like the
Really, that's probably
breast
the
meat.
best part.
Mhm.
My meat and Andrew
Breast meat.
we're on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
We are the same wavelength.
Wait, why would you have the breast meat? It's the driest part.
Unless
I
it's good.
Unless
I
it's
don't know.
good.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's like
I
again.
think I'd still prefer it over.
So wait, so Andrew, your hard take was that
I
you
don't-
like turkey. You don't like turkey.
I don't like turkey.
I
okay.
like it.
Like
I
I
like it.
like it.
like out Thanksgiving, I had a few pieces of it, out of tradition, but then it was just for me steak.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, you had steak, so you would definitely choose steak over the others. Okay. I like turkey over, not over, but I like turkey. Ham is good too. Not
I
over
don't
ham,
know,
but like, it's the same to me. But
I'm trying to think. I don't like ham. I think turkey's the best meat at the Thanksgiving table.
wow.
Like at Thanksgiving, not like the best meat overall, but just
Yeah.
like at the Thanksgiving table.
Yeah.
That is what I'm going for.
Yeah.
Ham is nice. Just I
Yeah.
don't know. Kind of get sick of the pork kind of meat.
Mm.
And at brisket was pretty good this year. My cousin-in-law made it, so pretty good.
Yeah. But honestly, like turkey, like Thanksgiving plates, it's usually loaded. So usually I can't even it's just a mixed matches of everything. So it's like honestly, I don't even care. It's just all good to me. Maybe like I have like a separate of each like thing on my plate, but like when it's together, like honestly, it wouldn't go wrong. So it's just me.
My strategy is always mashed potatoes, then you stack everything on top, and then it usually tastes good.
So on this rock, I will build. On this mashed potato, I will build.
I will build my.
I don't know,
Food.
man. That sounds like you built your house on the wrong thing.
on the rock.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's about to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's gotta tumble away.
slide.
It's gonna
Slip and
just go
slide.
down.
Like when the turkey and the stuffing comes, it's just gonna
Part like the Red Sea.
just separate like the Red Sea. Okay, yeah.
Did anyone get anything for Black Friday? Because I didn't even participate this year. I never participate, but
Actually,
I never go shopping on Black Friday. I hate the crowds and
Yeah.
everything.
yeah, I hate the crowds.
mhm.
Yeah,
But I did online shop, so they got me there.
yeah. I
That's
also
how I
online
would do
shops.
it. I didn't shop at all for anything online. Actually, no. I did buy something from my sisters, but it's different. That's for Christmas, so I don't count that.
That's good. My AirPods have been acting up recently, so the gym's kind of been tough. So I bought new AirPods, and they were half off, or like not half off, but like a good sale off. Not because of Black Friday, but just off. I was like, okay. And so I got the case, and it's like if you know Dragon Ball, it's like
Whoa, that's
Majin Buu.
good. That's a good case.
Yeah. But that's the only thing I really bought, and then I bought a gift, for someone.
Yeah. Got some like espresso accessories, like a little thingy, a puck, a little tamping thingy.
Nice. All right. Yeah. I mean, we want to take it even deeper than Thanksgiving. I mean, what was
deeper?
Yeah, like deeper, like before Thanksgiving, like even like let's rewind.
Oh,
So
so
like
even nostalgia.
Portable
July
Couch
4th?
Rewind.
Oh,
July.
Coming at you.
I mean, July 4th. I don't. Really, I mean, we're in Hoydom.
are we gonna reminisce about it?
I felt so patriotic that day. Seeing the red, white, and blue made me
Um,
American again.
salute my savior and my country.
God bless America.
don't
But me
know.
and David have been up to some nostalging, playing the game. That's in my testimony.
Oh, right. Yes. So if you're up to like gaming and stuff, you're about to click off. You're about to exit out, aren't you guys?
Nuh-uh.
We
Stick around. Stick around.
stick around. You might hear Ethan's testimony. We played Fortnite recently, the past 2-3 weeks. And they call it the OG season. Basically, they bring back the past beginning few seasons of the game, and brought back the maps and everything. The reason why we quit Fortnite was because people were just getting too good, and also it's getting too advanced, adding too much stuff. Honestly, getting pretty boring. But this OG season was really fun. Looking at these old maps and old places, play the game. People are still, really good at the game. 13-year-olds, crazy.
I don't know. We did pretty well.
But no, yeah. So the matchmaking got better, and so we played with people around our level. It's until a point where they gave up on me and they didn't want to rank anymore. But anyways, that's beside the point. But it was good. It was good. Like I haven't been playing games the past like several months. I'd say like since September, April, or like a little bit after September. Because I don't know, I just lost interest in games. Yeah, I wouldn't say like productivity is a thing, but just like I just lost interest. And so when Fortnite came back, I had that child like, like I want to hop on, I want to get home and like play Fortnite with the boys, Um, and so that was a good 2-3 weeks. Like just like, are y'all ready? Y'all hop on yet?
Yo,
Annie, you working?
We're getting on, right?
Yeah, we're getting on.
Unreal,
It was
right?
really fun, super fun, and then it was just fun because the commentaries and all that stuff, and it was like being in high school again.
It really brought
so,
back the vibes.
Yeah, and so
Being
but
with
it
the
ended.
boys.
So now we have nothing else.
Now it ended, and now we're not gaming anymore. Haven't gamed like that. I don't know, like since
Nope.
like beginning of Valorant or something.
Yeah. So that's been the
And
nostalgia for us. I mean, Andrew. I mean, you can tell us about what you've been playing recently. You said something about your nostalgia.
So this might alienate everyone watching the video. But when I was growing up in the 2000s, there was a game called RuneScape. And I remember like I had the same thing like you, like go to school with all my friends and we go home and then we jump on RuneScape and we're like, all right, we'll play, we're like hanging out, doing whatever. And so that's a game I played like 2002, 2004, 2006. And so, the game evolved and like it moved on and I got older, but a few years ago, I might have been in college. Oh my gosh. Okay. When I was in college, they 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 re-released the game the way it was back in 2007. And so they call it like old school RuneScape. And so, I played that for a little bit, but like the nostalgia factor kind of wore off. It's like I can't believe I used to play this as a kid. But then now every once in a while they do kind of like a special event, kind of like I guess like Fortnite does. And so I play it because it's a lot of fun and it's like a temporary thing. Like it only runs a few weeks. And so I've been playing a lot of that. And it's like part nostalgia and then part like new stuff. But it's been a lot of fun and like RuneScape like formed a lot of my life, I guess back then. It's like it taught me how to type. This is a computer game, right? So I remember like, standing in, a place in the game and then you're like, oh, selling lobsters 300 gold each. Then you just keep spamming that, and so like you just learn how to type by selling stuff. I learned how to like manage money and like calculate things, by playing RuneScape and stuff.
Wow.
So I remember, yeah, it's
Wow.
it definitely took a lot of my time, but it kind of gave me a lot of forming memories and skills that, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Video game haters in shambles. Look at that. He learned
shambles.
economics in
Yeah.
Breeze game.
Yeah. I knew selling things and gaining money and making my first million would help me somehow.
Yeah, mom. Yeah.
Look at me now.
So on a podcast with the boys. Look at me now, recording the podcast.
Yeah. I actually think same. I think Fortnite shaped a lot of my game. Or my game. My like
game.
future actually no, my future gaming
Like taste. Stuff.
Case.
in careers and endeavors or taste, yeah. Because I didn't realize you can make game like that's when I was like realized I could make money off of this. So because Fortnite was like one of the biggest games that could like give out money because they had like these weekly cash cups on Wednesdays where it's like if you get to a certain point in the leaderboard, you can get $100. And so it's pretty fun. People make money off that and put their name out there, and that would promote their Twitch and then stream, and then they get more money, and that's how people are now popular in Fortnite. And also set the competitive aspect of me, where like I like playing competitive games that have a ranked scene because I like the grind factor and just grinding out. Before that was Roblox and League, but we don't talk about that. And so yeah, but yeah, I mean, we're gamers, so we want to recap on
The games
reminisce a bit.
I played. If I would go through a timeline of the games I played, it would be Roblox, like when I first started gaming, and then League, and then when I play
For me,
after
Steam. I
League,
think Steam for me. How about you? Like Steam games.
Steam. Like okay, what Steam games? I'm trying to think.
I played Unturned, Robocraft. I don't know.
Robocraft. I've never heard of those.
Oh,
but, I'll just stick to I don't know Fortnite, and then Valorant.
Team Fortress
and
2.
then
Did you play that?
I
TF2?
did not play that. No.
Oh, okay. I played that too.
But there is this one game that always brings back memories for me that no one plays with me because no one likes it. It is Age of Empires 2.
Wait,
Definitive
hold
edition.
on, no.
Wait,
seriously?
Huh? Wait, you play?
Yeah. What?
Wait, what?
He
We're
loves that
gonna
game.
play tonight?
Bro, whenever my family
versus-
whenever my family would visit Christmas, Thanksgiving, whenever they would visit, we would all bring our laptops. We would set up a router, connect all our Ethernet
LAN
cables
party.
to the router, and do a LAN party. Like, okay, we got to take on 3 hardest computers, and we're going. We did it on Black Forest because we sucked.
Okay,
And so
Yeah.
and then that was like the best gaming experience for me. That was my uncle, my cousin, my other uncle, and sometimes my mom, because my mom and my dad played
Wow.
before me and they taught me. So it's kind of family
Wow.
tradition
That's
with that
insane.
game. But now we don't do that anymore. Everyone's got a family, they got kids, and so no one plays with me anymore.
Yeah.
And so I have it on my computer, my laptop still. But and I keep up with the updates and the competitive scene because I'm a nerd.
Okay. Yeah. If I said T90, you know what I'm talking
Yes.
about? Okay. Yeah, I just
Mhm.
came back to Twitch and I started watching him again because when he left, I stopped watching.
David is lost.
David's lost, dude. But
Oh, yeah, I
actually,
didn't think anyone else played it.
AoE 2 or Age of Empires 2 doesn't have the nostalgia factor for me because I didn't play it as a kid. Started playing it like 2 years ago or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. Whenever I say AoE to these guys, anyone want to play AoE? They're like area of effect. I'm like, bro. And then Andrew just used it. I'm like,
yo. Wow, I
wait,
didn't know
me
that.
and Andrew are vibing. We are
Dude.
vibing this episode. We're having the same takes.
Man,
Nerds.
Wow.
that's crazy.
That-
But like, yeah, that unlocked a memory for me because I used to do the same thing, but ours was StarCraft and StarCraft Brood Wars. So yeah, my uncle and stuff would play with us, and then my church friends, would come over and we'd basically like have one copy of StarCraft on the CD, and then I would burn that copy onto more CDs so that they can play it like on their laptops or whatever. And then I remembered this you know what a CD key is? You know, like a Steam key, like you like redeem a game or something. It's like a whole bunch of strings and numbers. So I remember that, and we type it in so much that now it's my password. It's just a random string of like letters and numbers, you know. But I typed it in
That's
so
so
much,
good.
like I just remembered it. So it's like, yeah. But man, I remember, yeah, we used to jump on and play. Okay, we're going to take on, 5, level 8 CPUs, and
Yes.
then we play on like certain maps. Like you did, Black Forest. Ours was called like, it's called like a fastest map. So they kind of like hack it so that you can get things faster than normal. Uh, Man, yeah, that was back in the day.
Oh man. I
David's
also
like,
forgot to say another game, Minecraft. I've also played that before Roblox. That was
I didn't really play that.
the game. You didn't really play it? I remember
I didn't play it.
those were my all-nighters. Those were my first all-nighters. Watching Minecraft videos all night. And then my mom would wonder why I was sleeping during the day. Oh shoot. Oh, she don't share this podcast. Don't share this podcast.
Wow, that's cool. Thanks, guys. Yeah. Stampy Lockhead, all that dream.
Yes. Dream. No, that's new stuff. That's
New stuff. Stampy Lockhead though
new
was there.
yeah, Stampy Longhead, Dan TDM, popular MMOs.
YouTubers, old YouTubers.
Yeah, I remember watching Stampy like for hours. I even watched like Minecraft in high school because I'm antisocial like that. So yeah,
yeah,
man, a lot
wow.
of good memories.
I didn't start playing Minecraft until I was in college.
College
because they did.
Because they didn't have Minecraft if it was in high school. Yeah, it was like alpha stuff. Like getting a bed, I remember, was one of the hardest things to do because there was no shears. Like you couldn't like get wool from a sheep by just shearing it. You had to kill them, and then they don't drop them all the time. So I remember like grinding a bed, and it doesn't even set your respawn point. It's just a bed, And so I remember like going somewhere, having a whole base, and then falling in lava, and then you respawn at the world respawn point, and I had no idea how to get back to like my base, and I like quit the game for like months. I was like, I don't. What am I supposed to do?
I played back when there was Minecraft Pocket Edition Lite. That was back in the day. It sucked, but I was like craving Minecraft.
Was it like this mobile version, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the map
And
is
they only have-
small. Like, right? It's like like a
small.
chunk or something. Yeah.
And it's like they only give you like a specific amount of blocks, so you don't even have all the blocks in the game.
Yeah.
You're like very limited in the game.
No
you
cave
can't-
or anything.
No cave.
No caves.
Oh, no
Oh,
caves.
caves.
I
don't think so.
don't remember, but yeah,
Okay.
probably not.
But in the time that I played with the kids at my church. So like, after like service, we go to the the room, the EM room.
Yep.
And then we all play. And yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Back then when Pocket Light was a thing, like a while ago, I would see a lot of our girls, maybe like a few, when I was not in high school yet, they would play like Hunger Games Pocket Light Edition. So they like, where are you? And they shoot arrows at each other and all that stuff. And I just walk in like with my Yu-Gi-Oh cards and like, wrong room.
Yo, Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah.
So yeah,
Yu-Gi-Oh
for
was a
us
thing in
another
our
thing.
church. Oh,
So you played Pocket Light, Minecraft, church, your church. Some of our girls did, but for us, the boys, we played Yu-Gi-Oh, and my cousin did too, and she's a girl. But we played a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh. It was fun.
So good. That actually
fun.
taught me math. How to add and subtract.
Yeah.
I'm like,
like
In the
instantly.
thousands.
instantly, like, oh, that's 300 right there.
Yeah. And these effects that have like decrease your attack by 150, that was difficult. I was like 150. Oh shoot, 150 times 5. Okay. Yeah, like all that stuff.
That's 5,000 damage. You're a million. Okay.
You're dead.
I try. Just like over
Literally though,
exaggerate
like I
everything.
draw, and then we'd be like summon like a crazy monster that is in the anime. We'd be like Stardust Dragon. No,
In
it's so
reality, it
fun.
wasn't that good, but
Yeah, it
it was
wasn't
still.
that good.
It
Like
was
over
like
time, we were
that's
like,
from the anime. That's
yeah, it
from
was just from
Yeah.
the anime. Yeah. We would tag
Yeah.
team duel, battle for royale. Sometimes
Oh.
like trade cards.
yeah.
I was too scared to trade my cards because I was like, this costs money, man. Okay. um,
Yeah.
But it was fun. We did that for like a good like 4 years until our Sunday school teacher was like, stop it.
I think we grew out of it.
Yeah, we just grew out of it too.
I think we grew out of it.
Do
Sometimes
you,
we get like the urges again, but then it dies quickly.
Yeah.
do you remember like at what point or where Yu-Gi-Oh was when you started playing?
Oh, that's
Uh,
like GX when I started. Like GX,
GX.
like,
we s-
came out.
we started around GX, but we
Okay.
ended right before Pendulums, which is Arc 5, I think.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
graduated.
I was playing when it came out, and so in the first like arc, I guess, like they had the gloves with the stars.
Oh yeah,
on them.
Yeah.
So that's like what we did. Like we got like toilet paper or like bigger toilet paper
Really?
rolls or
Oh, cool.
like I don't know what paper towel or something big
Yeah,
enough
yeah.
to put
Put it
around.
on?
Put like try to put like a glove through it, and then go to like the arts and crafts store and buy like the little stars, and then like glue them.
Oh wow.
Yes.
I
Because
remember
back
I
then
would
they had
cut
dual
out.
discs, right? And so my cousins
Oh,
and I would
really?
like try to make our own or something. Or like back then there was the
Oh, yeah.
5Ds, which is the motorcycle version where they had introduced Synchros. And so my cousins would bike a lot. And so sometimes we would bike and we'd be like, you're behind me, okay. I summon.
My move.
We would bring our actual Yu-Gi-Oh cards and try holding it in our hands while riding the bike. We're like, our summon. Boom. And then
Oh,
like,
man.
whoa. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
We were wild.
And then I don't know if y'all touched Beyblades. Y'all ever touched Beyblades back then?
Oh, babe, yes.
No?
Yes.
Dude, I was into Beyblades. Like I watched that anime and I wanted my own. And I actually like I told my friends, I told some of y'all this already, but like Beyblades and Yu-Gi-Oh cards, sometimes I just slept with them. Because I wanted a special bond with my Yu-Gi-Oh or my Beyblades. And so I would like
My man thinks he's Jaden Yuki, can speak to the cards or something.
Special bond
My
with
man,
Yu-Gi-Oh.
my man thinks
that's
he's
what
the
I
main
did
character.
though. That's what I
He
did
thinks
because
he's
it's
the
like
main character.
in the anime, like there's no way for the Beyblade to get stronger unless it's the Beyblade's heart. You know, it's always the heart. And so I was like, I need a special bond on my Beyblade. And so one time I bought a bunch of Beyblades and my dad bought me the Beyblades. And so we played together. And then but these Beyblades are like the Toys R Us Beyblades, so they're really weak. And so my dad I didn't have anyone to play with. And so at home in the old house, we played Beyblade, and I had my favorite, like, the anime main Beyblade that the protagonist has. And I was like, yeah, Storm Pegasus. And he had the antagonist, El Drago, or whatever. And then we would just like let it rip. And then he did it so hard because he's my dad. He did it so hard he broke my Beyblade in half. And then I was just so sad, and I was like, I slept with that Beyblade last night. like how'd you break it in half? And I was so sad. And then he was like, I'll buy you a new one. I was like, no, I had a bond with that one. It was gold.
Oh man.
And I was so
Oh
sad.
man.
And when I lost a U card, I was so devastated because I was like, my dark magician is gone.
Oh man.
That's
I'm
probably a
sent.
turn off for all the girls. I'm sorry.
Man, girls watching this episode.
Yeah, this is a big ick for you.
Yo, but like, so me and David, we have like girl siblings, so we don't have like brothers to like play like Yu-Gi-Oh or Beyblade with. So we would end up playing with ourselves. I wouldn't ask my dad to play with me because he was usually on trips or something. So like I would just get two Beyblades. I would just pull them together and just watch them. And then Yu-Gi-Oh, I would just play against myself.
Wow.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I tried to get my sisters to play, but
Yeah, I tried
they weren't
to,
into
but
it.
they just acted like they act cool because I was doing this whole like, and they were like, yeah, me too. And then I was like, all right, you literally played a trap card right beside monster, but all right, whatever.
Yeah.
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 Speaking of
I didn't
sisters.
have any brothers either. Like
Oh yeah.
mostly,
Yeah.
Oh, really?
yeah.
Hmm.
I have a
I thought you
sister,
did.
and then my cousins that were like around my age growing up were all girls and stuff. So I
Oh,
remember like
That's
my
true.
sister wanted to play Pokemon
Oh.
with me, and well, like play Pokemon. So like we had like the Game Boy Advance back then.
oh,
Um, and so what I would do is like I would start a new game for her. Like she can't like play my game, my version, or like my save. So I started a new game for her, but I would never teach her how to save the game. Uh, so she just basically played through the beginning of the game and then give it back to me, and I would just turn it off, which would like delete her save, you know.
Mm.
And so that's how I, would get her to play Pokemon and stuff. Would be, it's just by, it's like kind of like when you give like your little cousin the controller, but you don't plug it in, so they think it's they're playing along. Like, yeah, you can play Pokemon, and then I like delete all her progress, and like have her start again, and she like doesn't know like the difference. Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
man, back in the
I
day.
do that sometimes too. But siblings, yeah. I mean, this could be like up to how much you guys share. But for me, we did. This is gonna transition to like siblings, but like family. But like, we did a lot of road trips back then. We still do in our family, and my siblings, like, we're a big age gap apart. Middle one's like 5 years, the other one's like 8 years, and so they're in high school. I'm about to graduate college, and so it's like kind of a big difference. Could never really bond with them as much. I really loved them when they were toddlers when they couldn't speak. And when they started speaking, I was like, dang it. But as toddlers, like I adored them so much. And then growing up, they got annoying. But
Mm.
then when they got into high school and like where they are right now, I'm fine with them now. But back then, the whole idea, like, it brought back a memory when you were talking about like siblings playing games with us, whatever, or like Yu-Gi-Oh or something. I wasn't a fan of Dragon Ball, and I still am. My AirPod case, and so I would always do this like, Kamehameha, in like middle school,
He
like
was that kid.
Kamehameha, and I drilled that into my sister when she's a toddler because she was like, she would laugh at me when I was like Kamehameha. She was like, yeah. And then one time, every time back then during road trips to keep it more fun, I would just like, when I Kamehameha, I would tickle her. And so if I did that right now, I don't know if that would awaken some PTSD memories, but
Oh, get away from me!
get away from me. Where was I going with this? But yeah, I don't know.
Hmm.
There's a lot of things we used to do in this family. I learned all my Vietnamese from K drama, believe it or not. Yeah, my parents watched K drama and Viet dubbed, and I would join for everything. I would watch like
Oh,
8 K
man.
dramas with them.
Wow.
Man, I
Yeah.
wish, man.
So that's how I learned how to say I love you. That's how I learned what killing is. That's how I learned what alcohol and drinking was in Vietnamese.
Wow.
All through the
This
K
is the
drama.
most essential stuff.
Yeah, it's not sounding good.
The most important things that get you to life. Street knowledge, But I don't know. I don't know if y'all had any like like nostalgic things you would do in your family with your family back then. We mentioned like Thanksgiving and stuff. Pokemon, all that stuff. I don't know. Just to
Bringing
branch
up
off.
another game, like besides Age of Empires, my family, because everyone could play, would play Monopoly. That was like our tradition. That was our thing. We
Ooh.
would. I remember one year we had to get like 2 Monopoly boards because like I remember our family brought some friends over and there was just a bunch of people over just playing Monopoly. And I remember that was like a 2 hour game. We had to like shorten it because people had to go home. But I remember playing that. My sister, because AOE only really the guys played it, but Monopoly everyone could play it. My mom, my sisters, everyone joined in, and man, me, my cousin, we got some stories, man. My uncle was the comeback king, bro. He had $1, came all the way back. I can't believe it. How'd he do it?
He's like, I'm used to this. in the casino. In the casino.
Yeah, and then he'd always say his signature catchphrase, "Thanks, come again." And I was
Yeah,
really
wow.
mad because I paid him.
Wow. That's funny.
But yeah, just another thing we did.
Mm. Yeah, one of the memories that I have, like earliest, I had like terrible memory, but I remember going on a vacation with my family, you know, my cousins and stuff, my grandparents, and we had like a house in Arkansas, and it's like a cabin in the woods. And then we're kids, so we would like put on like shows and do like singing and stuff for our like parents and stuff.
Mm.
I don't remember anything like what the numbers and stuff that we did, the bits and stuff. I don't know. But I just remember doing that a lot. Like we dress up like, with blankets and whatever things that are lying around that we had. Um like put on musical numbers, do shows, skits or whatever for our parents, and they would record it. So if I dug around, I could probably find it. Um so if you hit, 200 subscribers, we'll upload it.
Speaking of shows, I kind of did something like that as well, but it was more like a one-man show, and I did it for my sisters. I would get like stuffed animals that I have and perform like a little skit with them, like just like, and I call it like the Froggy Show, the Froggy Show. And then they loved that, bro. When we were little, they loved that. Like, hey, what's the Froggy Show? When we in the Froggy Show?
When's the
That's
Frog
funny.
Show come back?
It was like better than television for them, and they always laughed. And I got tired of it, so I stopped doing it. Wait, I actually have stuffed animals.
Oh, are we gonna get the Froggy Show right now?
Froggy Show right now.
Let's get the Froggy Show.
The
Wait, there's
crossover.
one more.
The crossover. He's looking at it. I don't think I see what that anymore. Stuff there anymore. Girls, he still has it in his system.
These are the main characters, right? Sometimes they're a guest star, so I get other like what is it? Stuffed animals. Let me see. So here's our main character right here.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
the frog.
no.
I won this at my elementary school, and and it was like a fair or something. So this is the main character. This is like the cool side. This is like the Sasuke of the group. Not emo, but he's cool. This guy's like the comedic relief. Relief. And then I actually forgot what this guy was. I just remember he was there, Jaguar. And I very creative names. This one's Froggy, Panda, and Jaguar.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
I would use these, and they would like that.
Oh,
And
we're getting
we
it.
play around with
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, we're
getting it.
actually.
I'm not creative as I was before. I remember it was like I remember there was like a lot of fart jokes and like a lot like I don't know. I just remember it was a fun time. It was a fun time.
Mm,
Okay.
wow.
But they're retired, so they don't do that stuff no more. They got a family now.
The stuffed animals? Wait, what?
Actually I have a lot of stuffed animals.
I know.
Here's a big
You
pan.
can't see without his doggy.
Yep. Doggy of Justice.
Justice,
Where's
that's
my
it.
favorite?
Yeah, he's a lot of stuffed animals.
I have a rainbow sloth over there. It's too big. I don't want to bring it over.
Yeah.
I have a cheetah.
I mean, there's a
somewhere.
lot.
I love that cheetah.
We're reminiscing still about our family and everything. I don't know. Was there ever a moment, Angie, when your sister left the house and got married? Were you ever like, I guess, disappointed or sad or lonely?
No.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
What a
Like
He don't
not
need no
disappointed or
word.
sad. Like happy. Like when she got married, like man, like incredibly happy for her and stuff. But yeah, not really. My sister and I would say we're not like close growing up.
Mhm.
But there were points where, you know, we were close. Like, we gang up on our parents, like our parents would get mad at us, like, yelling at my sister, like I'll come defend my sister, be like on her side or whatever, and vice versa and whatever. And so like, yeah, when she went to college and, I was here, like, no, it wasn't really like a missing. I'm not really like that type of person. I asked my mom the other day, like, did you guys miss us like when we went to college? And they're like, no, not really.
Wow.
I we were both still in Houston, but like, didn't live at home.
Yeah.
But like, it's obvious that like they loved us because my dad's love language at that time started becoming like we cook food for you, make sure you have enough to eat and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
He used to do a thing where like we get in our car and like back out of the driveway and like leave, and he'll like follow you, walk with you, like follow your car to the like edge to the street, and then like watch you as you drive away. And then like there's a stop sign
Like
right
you
next to
just
my house, so that we stop at the stop sign and you can look at the rearview mirror, he's still there, and then like hold back the tears and keep driving on. But
yeah.
yeah, they loved us, but I don't think they got to the point where like oh, we miss you so bad, like come home or like call us or
Yeah.
something. Um,
Um,
they could just kind of deal with that.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what
Yeah.
would happen if I left. I don't think my sisters would miss me either. I don't know. I think my mom would definitely miss me. My parents would, but I don't know my sisters.
But
Actually, my sisters would miss me
Really?
just because
yeah,
I can't take them
that's
to
the most
Sonic
humble.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, once they can drive, maybe they'll stop missing me.
Yeah,
But
probably.
I'm the driver.
Yeah, that's how it works.
But your moms, like, they would miss you a lot.
They would miss us a lot.
Yeah, I feel like
I think
both of your moms.
Ethan and our mom's like my mom is like the same kind of in that regard.
Yeah.
Like kind of strict on the son, especially the oldest.
Yep. The
Yeah,
oldest
son. Yeah.
oldest son. But when we're gone, they're gonna miss us.
They're gonna miss us. Yeah.
Or be disappointed that we left. Like, why'd they leave?
Yeah, that too. What was it? I was gonna say earlier we were talking about you're trying to touch like every point. You were talking about how back then we play Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever in the church, and then so I just wanted to ask because I think we're getting near the end, kind of. Is what was church like for you back then? I guess growing up, were you in the same church, Andrew? I know Ethan. I don't know, was in St. Louis at first, right? Or was you? Were you born here, Ethan? I forgot.
Nope.
But
I was that church from the beginning. I don't think I
oh,
went to a
our
different
church from the
one.
beginning. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here. And so I don't know, how was church for you in the beginning, growing up? Maybe even growing up into the Christian family. How's your walk with God? If there was any walk at all, just
I'm
talk
curious
those
about
points 'cause,
Andrew.
yeah, growing up.
He's the one I know least about.
Okay, yeah, grew up in church my whole life. So you guys probably don't know like the history and stuff because it's like Houston. But there was like the OG like Vietnamese church, and so we went to that one on Old Walters. And then yeah, I remember, I was like, I don't want to say Zoomer because that's not a thing back then, and it doesn't definitely describe as that. But I was like a little kid. I was like, laying in the pews like after service, playing Game Boy. There's a playground outside, so then me and my friends would run around, playing at that. So I remember doing all the regular stuff like choir, singing, like our choir, not really choir director, but the lady that's kind of like in charge of helping
Yeah.
doing this thing. Yeah, was really on to us. We always thought she was the meanest person.
Yeah.
Now
Oh my god.
yeah,
Yeah.
and now like
Oh my
she's like the
goodness.
sweetest person. Like that. It's hilarious. But I just remember like singing and like getting yelled at and stuff. Well, not me, but like other people. They're horsing around and stuff. Like pay attention and do this and that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember some people. I had to drop a name. No, maybe I shouldn't. No, I should say it. Go Ashley. Man, that's
Yeah.
like teaching us back then Sunday school.
Was that OG Houston Church? If you was there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like here's a weird like thing that I always remember vividly is that in the sanctuary, when I look at the ceiling, I would see like gold sparkles. So I guess they like put, I don't know, glitter or something in the ceiling, or it's part of the paint or something. But I always thought like, dude, what if underneath like that paint it was like solid gold and our church was like gold and like no one knew about it except for me. And then like I become the richest person.
Oh, my man just
He lives in his own world.
Yeah,
uh,
I was living in my own world, doing my own thing, you know? Yeah, and so I do remember, a part of my testimony was, accepting Christ, quote, unquote, at a very young age, around 2000, um, and so I was at that church, and so I don't remember that much else about, like, my walk with Jesus there, but I definitely am very thankful for growing up in church because all the familiar stories, Moses, Joseph and David, and all those stories that you just kind of go through Sunday school back then, like it just sticks with you. And then, as an adult or, as a maturing Christian, you read those stories and like, yeah, just I'm very thankful that they share that with us. They did their best to teach us. And, at the end of the day, God, made the growing, but those people watered a long time ago. And so just having those stories stick with you, Veggie Tales, amazing back then, and just the stories are just in your mind and ingrained, and you know they just have the advocate the meaning, the moral of the story, and that just sticks with you, throughout the years. So I'm very thankful for that.
yeah. When you're a kid, you're in Sunday school, you're like half paying attention. You get the main ideas and then you grow up like, wait, that's actually kind of useful. At least when you're a Christian, you're like, oh, wait, you're looking back like, oh wait, that's kind of useful. Thank
Mhm.
goodness I learned it when I was a little lad, so I don't have to like relearn it or like I don't know. I don't like because the New Testament uses the Old Testament a lot, so it's like good to know the
Yeah,
names
yeah.
Abraham, Moses, and yeah, all that. And I had the same church experience pretty much. We were the I wouldn't say troublemakers, but we were a bit rowdy. We were a bit rowdy, No one could. Only our parents could really control us. They like go. You better go to singing practice, or uh, yeah. But it was pretty similar.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Like, your dad was like a missionary, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, my dad was a missionary, so sometimes he would like be out of the house for like a month or so. He would come back, so it was
Mm.
fine. But I remember when he like would leave, I would cry like, no, why is he gone? Why he always leaves? But I mean, I didn't hang up on it too long. I do remember this one trip to Mexico where my whole family could go because this actually wasn't a missionary trip. This was like more my dad's health trip. So they went to see a doctor in Mexico for some reason. I forgot. But yeah, it was just me and my aunt at home. My aunt took care of me while they were out in Mexico. I forgot how long it was. But yeah, I was like the only one at home. First, I was okay. I was like, I'm chilling, man. I'm like, no one's at home. I just do what I usually do. But then, like like the day before they came back, I looked in my backpack. There was a note in it. There was a note in it, and I still keep that note to this day. And it was like my dad wrote it, and it like, oh man, oh, I love that note. I'm not gonna read it because it's a little. I might tear up. I love that note. But like, man, I cried when I read that note, and I was like, oh man, I miss them. I want them home. Well, where was I going with this?
Nostalgia. You
Oh yeah,
remember it?
my dad was missionary. Yeah. Uh, yeah, he went places,
So did you ever
and
go
he
with
took me
them?
sometime.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
Vietnam. I would go to Vietnam with them. and that was before I was Christian. I
Mhm.
went to Vietnam last summer, or like this summer or whatever summer. Yeah,
Few months
and
ago.
I was a few months ago, and I was a Christian at the time, so it's like a different perspective from the first times I went. It was a vacation when I was a kid, but this time it was like more serving, more intentionality. So it was fun, and some church members went with us, which was different from last time. And yeah, pretty good, pretty good.
Yeah, I think the same for us. Same, like, for me too. I mean, Ethan and I go to the same church, and so we both go to the same church, grew up in the same church. How I viewed Ethan was that the annoying kid that would always try to, I don't know, gosh.
What? Oh shoot! Oh shoot!
Ethan
I
was the
did not
rowdy
know
kid
this.
that talked a lot, and
I
so
was. Oh
yes, you talked a lot. You were the kid that you hate right now.
yeah.
Like,
Okay. Yes. I reflected on I reflect on my actions. I realized what I did was very annoying. Oh wow! I can't believe I was like that.
uh,
I hate myself as a child.
it's so
I
funny watching those videos.
I remember being annoying. I remember vividly. I remember like my cousin would like lock me out of his room because I was so annoying. That's how annoying I was. And now I feel bad because like wow, I am experiencing that with my cousins, my little cousins now. I'm like, wow, boy children are annoying. They are annoying. They are a lot to deal with.
Yeah, but they'll grow up to be some fine young men someday.
Yeah, yeah. I
Fine
mean,
young man.
look at me.
Yeah.
And then, you got David.
Wow.
Okay. All right. Slander on my name. Yeah, but we both go to the same church. Back then, I don't remember much as a kid. I think I remember we had an old church building, and so um, that was that before the current church building right now. It's like not even that far away from the current church. But also, I remember my mom told me, but I wasn't born yet, so I don't think I was born yet. But our first church was actually like a home church, like a attic, not like an attic, like a small group. And so it grew and grew and grew. Eventually, my mom's cousin's husband, I guess you can say cousin-in-law, I don't know what you call it. He's the first pastor of our church, and so I just hear stories and all that stuff. All I remember was that I would walk in the sanctuary, literally so clueless. I was like the pastor's preaching. I'm yelling out mom and dad, and then all that stuff, and then they get me.
Oh, you're that kid.
Uh,
Shoot.
I was 3 years old, 2 years old. What do
Oh
you expect from
wow.
me?
That's still annoying. It doesn't matter. Nah, 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 nah. Unless you're like out of the womb, you'll get an excuse. But if
I
you're
was
like
2,
2,
3
3
years
years old,
old.
what are the
What?
parents doing? What are the huh?
Okay, yeah, it's
Where
probably
are
that's
they at?
honestly that's the thought when you hear about a
Like
kid, baby.
whenever I like
Um,
see a child acting up in church, I'm like, get him outside.
yeah,
Come
honestly,
on,
me
come on.
too. Because I'm like, where are your parents? Like, what are you doing? I know this is at a daycare. Okay. What's it called? But that was me. Uh, grew up in church. I was really close to my cousins, and so we just hung out the whole time. Um, what is it? Yeah, I dreaded Sunday school and choir practices until there was a song I actually liked. Because there's a song I like this tune, and I would sing really loud, and then all that stuff, and then yeah, and then I think over time I was another Christian until like junior high school, but we had a transition period. I don't know if churches like this still, where like pretty sure it still is, but like out of after middle school you go into high school, and that's when you move into the youth, or the I guess nowadays they call it EM, or like not EM but like youth. Yeah, youth. I'm gonna say youth. Where you're high
It's
school and
more
above.
EM now.
Yeah, is youth. Um, and so that's when you don't go to Sunday school with the middle schoolers, what you had before. You go now transition into like you're a big boy now. That's how I thought of the youth back then. Like, oh, they're the cool kids. Like they're the people who can stay up
Oh,
past 10 o'clock. Like
that's
uh, and so I looked up to them a lot. And so when I joined, I was like, whoa, this is kind of cool. What's it called? They're doing worship in the trailer. Oh my goodness, they have worship. All this stuff. And so it was cool. But I didn't really have a sense of like respect for God and His Word until I'd say middle school when I stopped reading mangas during Sunday school.
Oh shoot.
Wow.
Yo.
I had
Because
I had
manga
my
is to
little
Sunday school.
iPad. Yeah, I have a little iPad, and instead of reading God's word, I would like have it in the tab next to it. But the tab next to it was Safari, which is manga reading, and I'm like,
No, everyone in Sunday school had a different tab open. We all had Roblox or we
yeah,
all
we all
had
had something
Minecraft.
open.
Dude,
Uh,
it's blowing my mind.
And
iPads during Sunday
then
school.
when we had to go around and read the Bible, we just quickly switch back over. Oh,
Yeah,
what verse are we on?
quickly
What
switch
verse are we on?
back.
What verse are we on? Like, oh,
And
yes.
Loki,
And
sometimes we would
God
cover for each
said-
other's. Yeah, we would cover for each other. He's like,
15,
yes,
15,
verse
15.
13. Yeah.
Wow.
We were bad.
Yeah,
But after a
we were
while,
back
I say
then.
like my last year, 8th grade, or the last near the end of 8th grade, I stopped pulling up manga and I just read. I was like, even if I'm really bored to death, I'm not gonna pull up another tab. I'm like, I'm just gonna read, see what happens. And so that's when I started like gaining respect for God's word. But I didn't really understand anything yet until like youth. And then growing up the first 3 years of youth in high school, that was my like I love worship songs, like the big 3, like Bethel, Elevation, and all that stuff. And like that's when like I was a newbie. Like I was that person like let go and let God. I was a person like, like those common Instagram quotes. Jeremiah 29:11 was like one of my favorite verses. um and so I was like a newbie. And so that was me growing up. But in the church, yeah, I don't know. I've been in the same church my whole, new people come, old people leave, same people stay, you know. But I still, there have been times when I wanted to leave, and honestly, like this is my home church. I don't know. It's kind of, I had a dream like a few days ago. I was going to Austin church, and I had a job. That's why I told Andrew one time. I was like, I'm moving to Austin. He was like, whatever. But it was like honestly just like if I had a job in Austin, and I was like, I imagine like, would I be homesick because of my church? Like I don't see
I don't-
the same
I
people
think
again.
Austin is literally your second church.
I don't
Or-
know. I don't think so. There's like
Really, I feel
I
like
can
you
interact with
go-
everyone at Living Word, but like
I don't know, Houston, Austin. Yeah, like I don't know. I think you're.
I don't
Just
know.
as
If I
close.
go to Houston, I'm sticking with Andrew. If I go to Austin, I'm
Like
sticking
you
with
know
my
people
boys.
at those churches.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, but like I'm not 100% comfortable with everyone. Doesn't I can get well
You're
with them. I can be
100%
well with them.
comfortable with everyone at our church.
I'd say.
Oh,
I'd say.
okay.
I'd say I'm comfortable with like even the least people I talk to because like I've just seen them for forever. They're like sisters or brothers to me, you know. But like if I go to Houston, I'm sticking with Andrew. If I go to Austin, I'm sticking with these guys, and like and I slowly build it up. But like, yeah, I don't know. That's just me. These are you guys are my homies. Ethan's been the homie since day one. All these other
Well,
guys.
no, I wouldn't say that.
You're right. I didn't actually.
You thought he was annoying.
We
I was
actually
annoying.
we were just friends by association back then.
Yeah,
I knew
back then.
Aiden knew David, and so
Yeah.
we were like friends. We
And then we
played
just got
Yu-Gi-Oh
together.
but
And
we
then I
weren't,
was
like,
close to Joshua,
friends,
and so
yeah,
then
I
we
was,
just all
and then that was
Yeah.
the quadruple
mutuals.
Yeah,
And
I knew
then
Aiden. Aiden knew
yeah.
David. David knew Joshua.
And then eventually people started playing the same games, and so we would fight each other and each other, and then boom, we are now. I don't think I got close with Ethan until, I mean,
High
I don't know if
school.
Ethan knows this. High school,
What?
but I actually didn't. I wasn't close to you until your dad passed away. Actually,
Really?
yeah.
I'm
You know the reason
curious.
why though? I never told you this before. I feel like
Oh, it's a
the
personal.
reason why I got
you
close
say
to you after your
before?
dad passed away because this one guy at the funeral reception said, now that these kids don't have like a father figure, like I expect all these fathers in the church to be that father figure for you. Not saying I was a father, but I was like for me,
I can be smart.
I was like
son.
at that point, I was like, I have a responsibility and I have a duty, and I was like, can't leave him hanging there. And so I remember after the funeral ceremony, I would like, I know you as like the joking guy back then, the kid that was so annoying, but that was like always like trying to be funny. And so
Yeah,
the first thing
that's,
after the ceremony, you were like crying and everything, and like it was a sad moment. The first thing I said was like, I forgot what I said, but I made a joke and you started laughing. We started teasing each other. I think I said, "Wow, you're a crybaby" or something. I don't know what I said. I don't know what I said actually.
I forgot what you said.
But I remember I said something. I tried to be funny, and so because that's how I knew you as, and so that, I don't know. That's actually how I started getting closer to Ethan. Was after his dad passed away. That's how I remember it.
I
So
didn't know it was that specific. I forgot
it was that
what
specific for me.
specific time. But yeah, if y'all don't know, my dad passed away when I was like 14. So during that funeral, yes, I was absolutely bawling. He was right. Usually, I tried not to. I was like, try to keep it all in, like, but it was hard. And you know, since man, I hate it because now that my dad passed away, I'm like the guy of the house, the man of the house, and
He's at Alabaster
I
Fallen.
have to be like, yeah, I have to be strong and stuff. That was my like idea going into the funeral. Like, okay, I'm the man now. I gotta be strong. Can't be crying. But I ended up doing it anyway. And yeah, I mean, I'm chilling now. Chilling.
He's chilling.
I'm chilling. But
Yeah.
yeah.
And I don't know about your church, Andrew, but I mean, I've heard, but for us, for GP, we've had a lot of. I mean, I think any church, but like, I remember specifically growing up, like, there's a lot of drama. Like, people would leave because of drama. Pastors would leave because of drama or whatnot.
No. What happened? The drama.
The drama. I think his internet DC'd.
All right.
Oh, and he's back.
I'm back. My internet died. That's crazy.
Yeah, we figured. Don't worry, we cut it out. We'll cut it out.
What are we talking about?
Drama? What was
Drama,
it?
yes. Drama. Yeah, for us. So we're gonna cut that out. But we're back. Drama. For us, it was like actually, again, I think you already know. It's like mostly like someone's family or like missing like conflict with. I don't want to even say theology. It was just like more like a picky on some things. Maybe like gossip. We've had people who used to serve and they went to a different church locally, and then they branch off out of CMA, which is our denomination. And so maybe it's a denomination thing, maybe it's a church thing. I don't know. It could be a family thing too. But we've had people come and go and whatnot. And honestly, I was too young to understand, but growing up, I kind of have that idea. So, but mostly it was just, typical church drama. It's usually like that one family or that one picky theology or I don't know. Yeah, denomination even. So, I don't know about Houston, but I remember y'all actually, because y'all said OG Houston. So I'm assuming that everyone was together or something like that. And so something happened.
Yeah. So like OG Houston church, and then from that a lot of splits. So the church I'm at now is actually probably one of the first ones, I guess. I don't really know the history that much because I was a little kid at the time. But yeah, we split from the church. I don't remember why. I don't think it's theological stuff. I'm pretty sure like most of the reasons why church splits down here, it's like bureaucratic, like political things,
Yeah. Sorry,
pastor, like, okay, they're doing it this way, we don't like that, okay, which is that truthfully like saddest thing, like I don't want to hear about church splitting about that, but it happens. So now we have a good amount of churches down here in Houston, CMA at least. You have Baptist and all the other stuff, like that's a given too. So yeah, drama was a huge thing growing up, like in church, and it's definitely did form a lot of my views on church when I was kind of like in that limbo between giving my life to Christ and going to church. It's just like why am I at Vietnamese church? This is drama. Why don't I just go to a bigger church? Why don't I go to a church that has no drama and stuff? But truthfully, you're not gonna find a drama-free church. Uh, if church was easy, it'll be all like sunshine and butterflies all the time. But that's just kind of the thing. You're taking a whole bunch of sinners and putting them together, and you know, expecting them to be a family is going to come with some rough patches and stuff. Um, so yeah, just growing up is always a given. The drama of it.
Yeah, I think if you're at a church where there are no problems and there is no drama, like you're probably in heaven. Like if you have nothing going wrong with your church, you're probably in heaven. You're like because there's always something's up. Something's up, whether you know it or not. Someone could be hiding something. But yeah, drama's bound to happen. It's just how you react to it, how people react to it. And sometimes that does divide the church. And that is bad. But I mean, good in some ways, bad in some others. It's just sad to see community drift apart.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could even say like it's kind of biblical in a sense. Like it's like it's bound to happen. I mean, we've seen a lot of splits in scripture, right? I think who's it? Paul and Barnabas. Who else?
Oh shoot, yeah. Who is it?
There's more splits, but like they don't mention why. There's like they do mention why, like at least for Paul and Barnabas.
Even Jesus had Judas. Like,
well,
yeah.
But yeah, it's bound to happen. And so, I mean, our denomination has, again, every church has it, but even denominations, our denomination has like plenty of drama this past year or two, and again, like enough to where people could leave the church just because based off their denomination or whatnot. I was in that area, but for me, my encouragement I got from leaders and people around me is like, realistically, like your identity isn't in your denomination technically, nor is it in your church, but it's in Christ. And so that gave me a lot of hope and also encouragement that if my family decides to leave and I have to go with them, then I'm still a son of God, a child of God. So that's my identity. But the reason why I say technically denomination wise, because I mean, I don't know if you guys agree, but like the denomination you're in kind of does shape your viewpoint on that certain doctrine or theology. Baptized by water, or the Trinity, things like that. So I mean, in a sense, it does give you that sense of what you believe in. But I think you could argue it's tertiary or primary, but I don't know. I think it could be all primary. But yeah, that gave me hope. So if any of you guys out there who church splits or whatever, it's tough. we know. It's tough. Okay, I'm set. All right. But yeah, y'all have anything else to add with that?
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of like going through the weeds of it too right now. But yeah, it's just we look at the Godhead, and we see the ideal that God has for us in the unity of the Trinity, right? You know, Jesus was obedient to the Father. Jesus loved the Father loved Jesus. They had the same mission, right? The same mindset and everything like that. That's kind of like the unity I'm looking for. It's not so much in our location or skin or ethnicity or even how we want to do church. It's like, are we sharing in that mutual love? Do we have that same mission, right? Are we submitting to each other, in ways that we're supposed to? Like if that's there, then that's the unity I want to fight for. Like we can have our differences in how to do Sunday, what a worship service looks like, how you're supposed to preach, the word. We can have it, but I think if we keep the same things and pursue the unity that we see in the Godhead and the Trinity, we can work things out. And then even if we can't, and we have denominations in different churches, it doesn't have to be like you know us against them or something like that. Like I can be at peace with that. Like, hey, okay, pursue God, love His people, um, you know, s- serve and obey, and then this you're just gonna do it like that, and I'm gonna do it, the way that I think.
hmm
So I'm okay with that. Yeah. So I don't know. We're in the weeds of it, and um, I hope that's some encouragement to some people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have our different viewpoints on how the Bible should be read, but ultimately, it's just Jesus. Just Jesus. You accept him. You love him. You love Jesus. that's pretty much it. And before we end, because we I said we're gonna keep it on 1 hour 30, but I wanted to talk about this episode, because we've been listening to some solos. We're talking about some old, talking about some new. And so we're thinking like back on stuff from the past, like Old Testament. We've been listening to the old from Solos, Killing the Bull Offering the Ring, and we were talking to each other to prepare for this episode, and we were like, how do people from the Old Testament get saved before Jesus came? And yeah, take it away.
Oh, see, I don't know.
We came up. Okay, that's our answer. That's our answer. But like, there's like
But we have like
we have like a semi
yes.
okay like
Um.
read the Bible, but
Yeah.
just, we have like an answer.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about it quite a bit the past day or two. But I mean, we've had this question too. Like Ethan's had this question for a long time, and in the scenario of Native Americans, like those, at least the people who don't have the opportunity or the chance to hear the gospel. We went the route of Romans, where we say, creation, all creation. There's no without exception that they know God. There's a God. At least there is God. At least in Scripture, it says God, God, capital G, which means should be God. The same God in Scripture. And so we went that route. But for the Old Testament, my understanding, because I wondered too, we have in the song, the Old, and in the Scripture, we see, kill the bull, offer the grain, and do it again.
Really great.
Basically sacrificing as an atonement for their sins at the time. We don't have to do that anymore because Jesus has done that. He's the spotless lamb that has bought the full propitiation for our sins, purchased for all. But in the Old Testament, we see them do it over and over again because they kept sinning, just the same way we do. And so with that case, my understanding was that the gospel can't be different. My take, I'm gonna say it right now, is my take, but I don't know the details, is that the gospel can't be different. If Jesus is the only way to the Father, and he's been since the word was in the beginning, and all that stuff, he's been there since forever, then the gospel can't be different, and that Jesus is still the only way to the Father. And so how I would back that up, I mean, we talked about Job. He understands that there needs to be a mediator. We looked at Abraham and Hebrews 11 and all these Old Testament people by faith, that accredits them righteousness. And so that's my take, that the gospel hasn't changed and that Jesus was still the need, that they would, by faith, look to the coming of the Messiah, the coming of Jesus. The confusion was how they heard of the Messiah. But my take is that they understood the coming Messiah, and that they would believe in that, God is just and he is love, and that he will send a mediator and who will pay for all our sins. And so that's my take. But I don't know. These guys already know. but we never really found an actual like concrete.
Yeah, I remember
answer.
we did that night. Was that yesterday? I don't know, like
Yeah,
days
it's
before,
either yesterday or the day before.
days before, either
Yeah, I forgot.
yesterday, it's 2 days ago. Yeah, we were pretty much researching. We brought out our Bibles. We brought out some different sources, like, what about this? What about this? And what I got from it, Hebrews 11, big one for me, talks about like all of those people, and it says by faith they were saved. So I guess it's kind of had like a discussion about faith in what, like faith in Messiah or faith in God being merciful. Because if you think about God being merciful, then He would have some way to save you. And I don't know. It depends on how you read, how you understand God. But at least in Hebrews 11, we know that the Old Testament people were saved by faith in something. They were saved. And, listen, the meme with us is the old from Solace, great song. But like this one part just keeps going on and on, like iterating how many times they have to sacrifice the bull. And so I think you did have to have faith in the Messiah coming, have faith that God will save you. But also you can, back in the day before then, this is how you should atone for your sins until the ultimate sacrifice comes. First of all, like, put a pedestal on Jesus. Like, this is where sacrificing a bull will get you. This is where Jesus will get you. And the analogy I used was like debt on a credit card. You pile up some debt. You pay a bit of it off at a time, but it'll still grow back because sin, it you'll continue sinning. But Jesus comes in like Mr. Beast or something, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna just pay off your debt. Pay off your debt. You will have no more debt, no more student loans, none of that stuff, and you don't have to worry about that debt anymore. So that's how, like, why you had to sacrifice the bull back then. And it really is trust. It's trust in God that He made it obvious. Like, I think it really depends on Adam and Eve. What did He tell Adam and Eve after the garden? Because Adam and Eve knew there was a God. Did God say, hey, yo, Adam and Eve, y'all messed up, but I'm coming back, and just prepare for me for that. Prepare. Spread the word. I'm coming back. But it really depends on what God said to Adam and Eve. To me, read the Bible.
Yeah, I mean, I generally agree with you guys. This is a really hard topic, and really, I don't know. And so, if anyone's still here and watching it, and they're like, "Oh, I know," or like can point us in the right direction, it's like, please, like by all means, let us know. But yeah, I follow the same kind of thought that you guys, right? It's by faith that God credited to them righteousness, and so the sacrificial system is by no means like, I don't know. To me, it's like it's not logical. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like we would do it this way, but it's just a system like God provided, and the faith that people had. Like, okay, God, told us to do this, and if we do this, God will, cover our sins. We believe it, and so that's the faith. They believe in their sinfulness. They believe in their way that they need to do something about it. They believe that God has created a way for them, and then that if they believe it, they do it. God will cover their sins and stuff like that. And like the beauty of Hebrews, learning about that in 11, it's like God's given us the better, even better system, the best system. He's given us Jesus Christ, the Son of God Himself, to be the one and only sacrifice, for our sins. And so back then, I guess that's just how it worked. They understood their sinfulness. They understood God. It's like, as Dave was saying, it's all the same gospel points are all there, right? They know that they're dead in their sin. They need to do something about it, but there's no way. So God provided them a way to atone, for their sins. The priest can come, do it on behalf of the whole nation, and stuff like that too. So he created these ways for them, but it's just not sufficient enough until Jesus came. Um, so yeah, that's how I believe, and so that's our understanding of it. Very interesting question because, like, Ethan, you brings up a good point. Like, what about like right after they left the garden, and then
Mhm.
Cain and Abel were born? They're already giving
Yeah.
sacrifices.
Mhm.
So did
Mhm.
he like already establish, or like was it just like a word of mouth, or like a covenant that he made with Adam and his family, or was this not even a sacrifice about atoning for sin? Was it just like a sacrifice or something? Like, I don't know.
Mm.
And so, um, yeah, it's good stuff that we want to look into, and I have to pull out a whole bunch of systematic theology stuff, books, and I don't know. We'll get to the bottom of it someday. But if you know, viewer, if you know, good listener, help us.
God, if you know, type. I mean, God, you do know. Type in the chat. Type in the chat.
Type in the chat. Cite your sources, so we can look at it.
Source, I'm God.
I died for your sins. Do I have to explain this? No.
Yeah, I just explain it now.
Yeah, but I just wanted to ask that question because we were talking about, nostalgic things, and that's probably
Oh
nostalgic back in the
yes,
day.
nostalgic.
probably, probably nostalgic back in the day.
Nostalgic. I
Thinking
had to
about,
kill the bull and off the grain and do it again
yeah,
multiple
killing the
times. I remember that.
man. I remember waking up in the morning, had to offer my own son for a minute. Like, oh, psych, no, I don't have to. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Don't have a son. Oh, don't have a knife. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but didn't want to talk about that. We did talk about that a few days ago. So I thought it was a good topic, and people did say they want to hear more Bible questions. So thought I'd bring that up. But we went a bit over time. But
Be good, be good.
we're getting better. We're getting better. We're getting better. It's not 3 hours. Be thankful.
That's true.
Be thankful. Okay.
Yeah, be thankful.
Be thankful.
Last few announcements. Spotify. We got that Spotify. This episode will be out on Spotify. So
Hmm.
we'll have a link in the description. Check it out if you
Um,
want to. If you don't,
Like,
God have
subscribe,
mercy.
spread the word. Also, yeah, just let us know in the comments if there's anything else you guys want in
If you
our
have any
future
questions,
episodes.
we
Yeah, any
can
questions,
try to
anything,
answer 'em.
answers, blasphemy,
Yeah, you can
all
say
that stuff.
blasphemy. Well, they're like,
Yeah, we'll
oh,
take the
okay.
video down. Take it
Yeah,
down.
okay.
Heresy.
If you say blasphemy and heresy, tell us why it's heresy so we can learn. Tell us why. Cite
I'm
your
just saying.
sources. I want to see a Bible verse as to why it's heresy. But yeah, other than that, like anything else? Last minute?
Yeah.
Till next time, we'll try to get better with our episodes, but
We're getting better.
Yeah.
get better. At least
All right.
putting out content. So, yeah.
Since school's ending, we have more time. We can put more into it. Put more into it.
Mhm.
A little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
That was good. Okay. Okay. How do we say goodbye? Bye. Bye.
Bye.